Our problem now is attacking from here, Bomart, going forward. At the back, I'm confident is over sharp.
Sure, no matter food.
Not to say I still phone pillow, but the time, at some point you have to accept that, okay, times are moving. We have to move with times. But again, as fans, we need to be happy when watching football. Otherwise, what's the whole point of my favorite team? But I'm not even happy after the game.
Bongani, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, this is my friend. This is my colleague, and we were talking during the day, and I said, let's not talk about this thing. And indaba enkulu ne ngifuna siqale ngomfundo vilakazi njengomjito waseKasi okhule ethanda ushukela and all of those things. Yeah, what was your reaction to the criticism that umfundo vilakazi received by showboating and JE, the view of showboating in South Africa, and what's your view?
Well, I think, sure, that's a tough one. Because now I'm more concerned about the level or like the state we are in as a team. So showboating alone, I don't have a problem. But the coach was saying to him, you can do this when we're winning. You can do this when we're leading. And we've already sealed the game. But if you do it, especially showboating comes in different aspects. If it's all Kivela and stand, it's not helping us. But Moyenza, unless you do it for the fans and we are winning, that makes sense. But if we enter, we were losing 3-2.
It was 1-0 and then it was 2-0.
Exactly. So now we are losing El Kivela. Yes, it's good for the fans, we love it. But now in that state, it's not helping us.
You know,
so I feel the same way because at the end of the day, game is determined by goals, win or lose. Yes.
Yazini ngibuza ngiqala ngale showboating and whatnot.
Yes.
It's because I know you are the proponent, and I know he's not the only one. There are a lot of you guys, and there's nothing wrong with that, who view modern football as ibhola lencwadi.
Yes.
Like it's too tactical, it's too educated.
Recently worse.
I'll elaborate.
Where do I start? Because now, you see, by the way things are done, I wouldn't say it's the same as what it was before. So a friend of mine called it modern football. So it's more of a business deal. It's more of tactics. It's more than just playing and showing talent and making fans happy. So for the team to progress and to be on top, there's a lot of, be it business-wise or in the field, buying players as well. So all of that just becomes, and for us as fans, we are limited because there's things, we'll just say what we think, but we don't have a say in how the team is run, basically. So yeah, Lizane, back to showboating, you can't do that while the coach is working on something. So let's say there's a plan we want to execute. When El Kivela, you're taking us back. We're not sure if we can do this or not. And then another thing for me is the positioning itself. Because now you have to be in a level where, okay, I don't want to mention teams and make examples, but you have to be in a level where okay, combinations are good. We can try this out. We can try this out. Our case is worse because we need the coach to deliver. There's technical stuff as well. Then there's players, there's showboating. It's just too much to comprehend at the same time.
Wena bonga ngiyakubona ufuna ukulokhu ibalekela le
ndaba.
Awulifuni wena ibhola leli la Pep, awulifuni ibhola lika Arteta. Sure, ukuthi awulifuni.
Not to say I still phone pillow, but the time, at some point you have to accept that, okay, times are moving. We have to move with times. But again, as fans, we need to be happy when watching football. Otherwise, what's the whole point of my favorite team? But I'm not even happy after the game, even when we won. So it requires you to understand, this is what they are doing. This is the plan. And if you don't understand that, you won't enjoy football. There's no showboating because showboating, like I said, you're delaying the plan. You can't execute it because you're going forward, you're taking it back. Oriel Kibela, that guy is taking a run. Understand what I mean? So we won't see that. And then all those technical stuff you're talking about, some of those things, I'm a fan, I'm there, FNP, lots and lots of people, we want to be happy. But we can't be happy while they are doing that. We want to see what we want to see at that time. And we want results as well.
kade ngibona, I saw a clip of uJomo Sono man
Yes.
playing. Yo, kodwa ubeligibela ashaya pass la.
move.
Yabo and move. But that was not the impressive part. Well, that was impressive how he was playing. But the part that impressed me was seeing him and looking around the stadium. It's packed. And that's like back in wadlala ninoJoma 70s, 80s.
Yes.
Yeah, like back then.
But the
I'm like,
fulfillment, the fans,
yeah, the fans are
feel,
there.
That's the kind of football we know.
So sekunalento lokuthi, what happened? Do you think that abantu base South Africa, because masibuka lama game, ama-Phillies game, we see kugcwele,
That's
right?
Enjoy.
But mawubuka iStellenbosch namaZulu, iStellenbosch badlala kwi-CAF Confederations Cup, or let me not say amaZulu. iStellenbosch ne-SuperSport,
Yes.
like Stellenbosch CAF Confederations Cup, SuperSport coach Gavin Hunt, they have good players, but the stadium siba empty. Do you think that besides the Chiefs and other specifically, do you think that's also affecting the Chiefs who have taken away too much of the flair and the beautiful game?
Yeah, it's also difficult to tell because again it depends on the team itself. So I can't talk for their fans. I don't know what's happening there. If I can make this example, remember Celtics. So I wouldn't say there was a lot of showboating, like the feel that we want, but they had fans. It was nice. That feel we're talking about, people had that. They would sing. That feel to the fulfillment with Buya Stadium. I am happy. I was watching there are some games where you just watch the game, you are fulfilled even when you lost. So now with this modern football, if you don't get a win and you don't understand what they were trying to do, it's more confusing. So now you're confused. You're not happy. Why go to the stadium again?
And because that's another thing. And Ibona Stadium, unfortunately, as much as one thing that like sort of turns me off with recording interviews after games, abantu baphuzile and abanye bakhuluma into obona ukuthi, there was a lady I interviewed man, engathi, what did you think of the game?
Yes.
And she said, angazi mina,
She was just there.
busy enjoying nabangani bami.
She was there for the vibe.
Hey, I'm like, this is the same person ozofika ku-Twitter athi yazi yasibukisa udoti Chiefs kodwa ubengabukeli. Yes, Chiefs ibidlala udoti vele, but she didn't even see that. So I just wonder ukuthi how many people njengoba usho ukuthi some people will not even see what is the team trying to do.
What was the plan?
Exactly.
Yes.
So abantu bafuna uku-entertain because yabo umfundo, I always say this ukuthi, as much as people say that umfundo wamosha ibhola, umfundo was showboating while Chiefs were losing, but the fans were clapping.
Yes.
Because that's the type of football they want.
He's young. We have that excitement when we see him. Yeah. And there's a few players from other teams as well, which the same thing happens. One, to be specific, people are happy when he gets the ball. They have that excitement for young players.
But now, segment ingak, because there's a conflict now, because from my point of view anyways, mangibona umfundo Vilakazi, ngibona umdusha balala.
Yes.
They look hungry. They look like they want to do something for the club, right? You just see, and the pressing and the running and Yabonje, they're all over. But then there's that inexperience, right? Because on the right wing you have Upotsane as well, who's a more experienced player, right? On the left wing, let's say Umodi starts on the left wing. That means Dupree is automatically gonna start on the right. Because then, but at the same time, you're like, how do you balance this? Because as a 10, you are likely going to play with Sireno because a 9 is Luranga. So now how do you balance that thing of we want that youthful enthusiasm and we want experience? Because I'm just mentioning our front four, which is likely going to be Sereno as a 10, Dupree qua right, Ranga on the middle, and then Modi on the left. Or do you think the coach will just go Modi on the left and then Mfundo on the right?
Sure, Mpilo, that's a very good point. And if you remember, I said to you, it would be better if we had this interview after about 5 games, Nyana, to see. Because right now, I don't even want to hurt myself and speculate or try to come up with if he can do this. I want to see what style of play Saganabi. I want to see how he wants to, the plan, the techniques. We want to see, okay, this is how he's moving. this is the direction we're going. Back to endabeni yalentwana, yes, we get excited. It's difficult. That's why I always tell you, and we have this conversation because this modern football and the kind of feel that we want to combine them together, it happens. I mean, we've seen teams do it, but it needs the team to be on a level where it's doable. Now, you can't build at the same time have that feel, at the same time have that combination forward that you're saying right now. So it might not happen like that. The coach might decide, I'm doing it like this. Back to endabeni 10. Sereno is now here. We have him to any other player that is there currently, he can decide to do it ngenye indlela that we never thought of. As long as it's giving us results, we'll be happy. But now it takes away that thing that to say, okay, this is what we want to see from him. Back to like the other coaches. How many coaches have we changed now? I don't know, 5. But still, you are building the boys there. Pella, you need to give him that role to say, okay. And back to like 10. Are we giving it to Sereno? Are we giving, because the position as well. You can't be given a role and instructions to, this is what we need from you. And then you add that feel, unless we're winning, like, okay, we have sealed the game. Otherwise, it's going to be difficult. You're young, people love you, we want to see you do best. The coach has given you instructions. Then there's your own thing you want to add as well. So it's going to be difficult. Especially if we're losing, we won't care. He's still young. And we need results.
Aske sithi unapi, since he has had a conversation nabumtu umfundo ukuthi okay ungakwenzi lokho, and he had it
or
right
yes,
usezwile ukuthi okay ungajiki unless win so okay, let's just say the boys will not do that. What's the best thing to do? Udlala oyedwa mhlawumbe umfundo kwa right umdumbeke ebhenchini uzongenela uSirino obazoshintshana on the right side. From your side, forget what the coach is going to do. I'm talking about from your perspective because you're allowed to have an opinion.
Well, that's what we are. We are fed. We always have opinions. Mpilo, I mean, we can't say nisho munye ipo munye chance, and we can't say play them all at the same time. It's difficult because, like I said, at the end of the day, we're gonna need results. So it's a difficult one. And we love them, all of them. We don't have, I mean, Umbuto, promising. But what, like you said, we shouldn't say we are building, blah, blah, blah. But again, you have Abubongani Sam. It's just, you can't tell who's going to do what now.
When ufuna, who can't tell.
Yo, but let's be chance in Pilo. But at one go, sometimes it just gets too chaotic. And it's like you have 3 players, but they're doing the same thing. And then the role you've given the player, I say execute it based on and with young players, you need to groom them as well, make sure they understand the assignment, and then add, because every player is unique, special, blah, blah, blah. You understand what I mean? So it's going to be difficult for me to say, Nisfuna Zonke at one go, because experience is needed. We need all of it at once.
So, out of the 3, so Bega on a tight spot and ufuna a straight answer.
Okay. Let me see how it goes.
Samgelo, Mfundo.
Yes.
Out of those 3, which 2 are starting a game and which one is benching and why? Because we saw ukuthi uSamgelo, there's an argument ukuthi eswini ubuka ngathi akalithatha ibhola serious. Not my views. People said that serious, he must decide whether he's a model
or too
fancy.
I've heard that.
And umfundo, not much. It was just the thing ukuthi akibeli ibhola zidliwe. And then umdu started and kind of fell off, but then he's come back now. So from my perspective, it would be difficult to drop a player like Samgelo because I know what he possesses, but at the same time there's still a lot of inexperience and he shows it, and you're like yabo mangathiwa ngidlalisa uMart in that position, he's not as creative, but uzoshaya ispan sokuthi he will cover ground. If he's covering Frosla, he's gonna do that, and as much as he's not gonna have like what uSamgelo can do, but I'm sure ukuthi uMart uzonginika 6 out of 10. But usamukelo at worst, he's gonna give me 2 out of 10. Yabo, Umar uzonginikeza 5, and I know what I'm getting.
Experience counts.
Yabo, experience counts. So
always.
That's my thing now. Guti, kulaba fana laba, kuthiwa play 2, drop 1. Which one?
You really did put me in a tight spot. Yeah. But at least you should have given me positions and the time.
Yeah,
and those two are very important because say 70, 80 last minutes of the
and
game.
The time, yeah.
You can play them at the same time. Bonke. It doesn't matter the score at that point. But we're starting a game, we're facing whatever team you're gonna start. I would say start one of them.
Which one?
In the 3. Sure, Harry, which one? This guy. I like them all. I mean, but I'll start with Mfundo. That's me. Because of what you said when it comes to speed, the hunger. We need that. That is very important because when you're a player like that, anything can happen. And believe me, they all have that thing that I want to score. I want to do good. And it's what we need forward because set piece, whatever we get, it's going to work in our favor.
But
so
what,
start with Mfundo.
Bongs, what makes Mfundo better than Mtu? Because someone is going to ask, why not start Mtu? Why start Mfundo ahead of Mtu?
Because of how the shape of the team looks now, Mfundo would fit well where he was playing on that game we play against. Yes. So now we have Abo Sirinho. You understand what I mean? So I think it's back to what the coach is going to be planning to execute because if you have this one, then you're testing, okay, combination yake no Sirinho, it's getting somewhere. Then you have an opportunity to sub the boys. Take this one and put this one in. But like I said, if it's 70, 80 minutes of the game, can have one decide. Let's just go and see how they do. When it comes to defense, we've signed 3 on top of
the ones that you had already.
Bongani Sam, and who?
Not totally.
Exactly. So they are adding to amachite work on. And there was that why? That's why I'm saying a combination is all Nabi need to figure out and he's had enough time. I'm sure we're there already. Our problem now is attacking from here, Bomart going forward. At the back, I'm confident is over sharp. With who? I don't know. But there's a lot of them, so you can make it work. Left back. Well, not natural, whatever. Let's go, not go there. What I'm saying to you is now, there are players, more than 3, for the same position. You can't struggle. If you understand what I mean? So it's just combinations we need. But that position, there are people, not 1, there are players, 3, 4 players. Because Udove can do a left back as well.
He's injured and he's out. He's done because they registered in us, so they did register. So he's done. So Yabolama defenders were signing. Bongani Sam, I can see starting because they signed him. So I can see Bongani Sam. Yeah, because there's no one else who can play that position like naturally. Because Utotli can play that position. But he can play it. It's not that's his position. You get me? Like we are was ukudlala 6 namhlanje, but you're an 8. What they are doing with Umar, this is not really a 6, but they're making him a 6 because he, I guess, plays the ball better than Umteto, and he works harder than Castillo. So that makes him a preferred 6 over the other 2 guys who are easy. Yeah. From last year, so,
I think we need to be fair to ourselves to say, as much as there are players that are wanted, let's check the positions. Let's go back to the left back you were saying. The players we wanted, I think one of them, if not both of them, were left backs. Yes. Why? Ask yourself why the same thing. And then I'm not saying Ubongan Sam is not a good signing. No. No, listen to this. If asimtolanga lo muntu besimfuna wena uthi manje you can take a player eldala, then you say okay, today you can do this. Now you said we are working on what we have. We're not going for theories if we had if we had. No, this is what we have now. But my point is, if we have a 10 as a team or in 9, whatever position, we have a striker. You understand? We are looking as a team for a striker. What does that mean? as a team for us.
Asikho happy ngale strikers now.
Exactly. So those players, we can do this, we can do that. But it tells you, okay, that position, that doesn't mean says right ngobubong and Sam, we've bought him.
Because especially since the person who's wanted is Pasadine, it's not like we want a 20-year-old who can be a backup and develop.
He'll be there for
Yeah, so it almost feels
experience is there. He's gonna fit in that position. It's naturally.
it feels like he's definitely coming to start. So valid, it's what we've been saying all along with it. That left back position seems like it was a problem. Because even last year, this is why I blame management. Uguti. Since last year, they knew that we didn't have a left back. So they extended Hlanti's contract. They knew Dove couldn't play that position because he gets injured when he plays there. So out of the other players, now you have Inas, you have Utotli, and you have the two centre backs that we had. Umsimango, no Titloko. Do you think there's a scenario like
I like
you?
this way.
Yeah. Do you think there's a scenario whereby both centre backs that are come in and just start the games and be starters like Inacio, not Dotli? Because someone might view it and say it doesn't make any sense because why would you have two people who are new to the team starting? Because if you do that, that means Ntwari, because we know Ntwari is going to start. Ntwari is definitely starting. And left back is going to be someone new, Ubonga Nisem. And then there's Dotli, there's Inacio. Can that ever happen or it doesn't make sense? Personally, even if you are not happy with everyone, but I think you should still leave someone. So if a coach is like, screw this, I'm going to release or remove everyone because Ufrosla is still going to start. Who does he leave in that back four? Because we know Ufrosla is mostly likely going to stay, right? Mchwara is going to start. But in the two guys, you have between Umsimango, no Titloko. Ubano's uhlale benching because I don't think both Inacio and Dotli are going to be benched. So who's sitting on the bench between those two people?
There's a 50% chance you might start both of them. Only 50. And then the question you're asking now, I think Umsimango has always been, if we were to compare, he's always been better than Titloko. Height, aerial balls, all you name them. So he's most likely to be
the starter.
Yes, because now he's our main before these guys. With defensive wise, if he's not there, it's a cover attack. You understand?
But abantu ababuka bathe wena uthini uMsimango siyamazi thina. What is this?
Come on, we are Chiefs fans. We've been favoring Chiefs. We've been watching Chiefs. You cannot say it's the same thing here. Kwinika, who was he playing with? Recent, just because. I mean, just before.
Why dlala ku right back? Kwase kunokweni.
There was a lot of exactly. So now it goes back to that point. The others would say, Kwinika. Or why you understand what I mean? So yeah, my opinion, Msimango would be better. Because we want ball players as well. And for Indaba left back, let's go back to there was once a time we were talking a game play, as I lose a 4. You told me with Kahlele, he was not playing 3 defense. For that game, I was not aware of that. So if you go back to that part, you'll be surprised. Uthole maybe let's say Frosla that side. So it's not a matter of Vele will need someone who left black, blah blah blah. It can happen depending how we're building and how he's planning to play. You understand?
Yeah.
So you won't have to sacrifice who you can play these guys, this person can go and come back depending, you understand?
On Woodbadala
Yes. So if Siamaka, they're gonna come back. But the point is we don't want to sit here at the back and that's not this. So yeah, it's one of those you can play. Yes.
Yeah, no, yabona ngizobuya after lama game of 5.
We have to.
After one game.
We have to. Then I'll tell you.
But it's also based on what you saw.
Because now, like I'm saying right now, it's gonna be difficult for us to tell. We just want good results, so we hope Unabi is working on that and the combinations. Like I said, very important because you can have 3 abantu at the back, Bakshayeli span. You can have 4 abantu at the back, Uleke Pambil. Depending what kind of players you have.
And what's the thing that's going to
Yes.
get him best combinations and best results?
Exactly.
No, guys, thank you so much for joining us. We've come to the end of the show. Let us know what you think about.
Yeah, let's
We
see.
talked about a lot of things, but Fundo, who's playing, Mshini, and with the new signings,
Modern football.
who's going
Modern
to
football,
start.
Bafethu.
So do let us know down on the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, remember, Khosi.
Sabuya lapho.